Your body isn't speaking in symptoms, it's speaking in patterns. Welcome back to the Signals Room. Last week, we talked about the sleep paradox and why getting more sleep doesn't always leave us feeling more rested. That conversation wasn't really just about sleep. It was about something much bigger. It was about learning to listen differently. Because here's something I've come to believe after more than 2 decades of working with people that are interested in their health. Our bodies rarely whisper just once. They tend to repeat themselves. The problem is we've been taught to hear one signal at a time. Examples are, my sleep is terrible, I'm exhausted, my digestion's off, I can't seem to think clearly, my joints ache, my mood isn't what it used to be. We collect all these experiences like separate puzzle pieces, but we never stop to ask if they might belong to the same picture. What if they do? What if your body isn't speaking in isolated symptoms at all? What if it's speaking in patterns? Imagine looking up into the night sky, and if you only see one star, it's just a point of light. But you connect enough stars together, and suddenly you recognize a constellation. The stars didn't change, your perspective did. I think our bodies work much the same way. One signal is interesting, 3 related signals. Now you're beginning to see a pattern. Let's say someone tells me they're waking up tired every morning. By itself, that's one observation. Then they mention that they crave sweets every afternoon, and they can't seem to concentrate like they used to. Most of us have been taught to think of those as 3 unrelated problems: poor sleep, cravings, brain fog. But what if they aren't unrelated? What if they're simply 3 expressions of the same underlying story? Or maybe somebody tells me that they've been feeling more anxious lately. Their shoulders stay tight. Their digestion has changed. Their breathing feels shallow. Again, those can sound like 4 separate complaints, or they can become 4 clues pointing in the same symptoms. That's the difference between collecting symptoms and recognizing patterns. One of the biggest shifts in my own thinking happened when I stopped trying to fix the symptom before trying to understand the symptoms that might be related. Instead of searching for what was broken, I started assuming these symptoms were actually messages and my body was trying to communicate something. Now, that doesn't mean every signal has one simple explanation. Our bodies are wonderfully complex. But complexity doesn't mean chaos either. It means connection. Everything is influencing everything else. Sleep affects hormones, hormones influence energy, energy changes our choices, stress changes digestion, digestion affects inflammation, inflammation influences the brain. It's all connected. Our bodies have always functioned as systems. Sometimes we just forget to see them that way. This is why I encourage people to become observers before they become reactors. Observation creates understanding. Understanding leads to better choices, and better choices create the conditions for change. Notice I didn't say perfect choices, just better ones. Small adjustments made with understanding often accomplishes far more than dramatic changes made out of frustration or desperation. If you've listened to this podcast for any length of time, you've probably noticed that I don't spend much time chasing the latest wellness headline. I'm far more interested in helping you become fluent in your own biology. Because no article, no podcast, no social media post can know your body the way you can. When you begin paying attention with curiosity instead of fear, when you start connecting the dots instead of collecting complaints, you become a much wiser participant in your own health. And that's incredibly empowering. So this week, I'd like to leave you with a simple experiment. Don't focus on solving anything just yet. Just notice. Choose one thing you've been experiencing, and then ask yourself, what else has been changing around the same time? Has your energy shifted? Has your mood changed? Your sleep, your appetite, your focus, your stress level? And don't force an answer, just become curious. Sometimes the most important breakthrough isn't discovering a brand new signal. Sometimes it's realizing the signals you've already noticed have been connected all along. Before you go, if today's conversation made you see your own health a little differently, would you do me a favor? Think of one person in your life who might need to hear this message. Someone who's been frustrated or confused or trying to make sense of what their body's been telling them. And share this episode with them. Sometimes a new way of seeing is the first step toward a different outcome. And if you'd like more conversations like this, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of The Signals Room. Until next time, stay curious, because the most important signals are often the ones beneath the surface.